All right, guys. You guys want to hear the new theme song?
Wait, what day is it? Yes.
Oh, maybe that's part of the theme song.
Oh, maybe. Sorry.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Fuck, I forgot it. No one's listening. No one's listening. No one's listening. Show. All right. It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2015. This is Rat Radio. This is the No One's Listening show. I'm your host, Rafa. To my left is Mark.
Hey.
To his left is Al.
Hey.
To his left is Anna.
Hello.
To her left is Manny.
Hey, you skipped Chico, man.
I was going to say.
His left is Anna.
Hello.
Another Anna.
To her left is Jauregui.
What up, what up?
And to his left is Gannon.
Hey, everybody.
G-Man.
Packed house today in the studio.
Special Thanksgiving show right here.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is extra special.
Nice and cozy.
We'll go with weekend talk.
You really worked on that one, Rafa.
It's very Bob's Burgers. Does anyone watch Bob's Burgers?
Who wants to go first?
I got a cool little weekend fun fact for you guys.
Yeah.
Or not fun fact, but cool story. I went skiing for 3 days. Had fresh powder and veil. Got waist deep. You know, not nose deep, just waist deep. So it was fun.
Nice.
Yep.
Did you get pitted?
I got so pitted.
So pity.
Yeah. No, we went out there. It was great. It was opening weekend. Bunch of locals. Had backpacks full of beers. Took up some food. You know, little picnic on top of the mountain. Did take a picture, so they'll scan your pass and take a picture, and then like you'll go onto the app and like get to see your picture. But I got 2 dudes and a little kid for my picture, so I don't know what the hell's up with that. But it was
So for those
cool.
For those who don't know, Jauregui was a friend of the show back years ago when we used to do the show in the other studio.
Yeah.
And now he's living in Boulder, but now he's back on the Keep for Thanksgiving. Now he's back in the studio for a one-time
Hang on, my son
appearance.
is texting me right now. Speaking of little kids, Ali, you're his favorite radio personality.
Oh, am I?
Loved you. My kids loved you.
That's awesome.
That
Let that
is
guy
awesome.
talk more.
That's amazing. We also have some other out-of-towners.
Oh yeah, we got
The one next to me right here, Al.
Hello.
Al, who one time shaved his head on the radio.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. That's true.
I saw it.
Chopped my locks.
And in the early days of the show, I remember one time we did the show just me and you.
I
One
think so.
time.
Yeah.
Also, Mark is here.
Hey there.
And Mark had one of the best stories this radio show ever had, the Pissmobile story. I'll never forget it. I have to cut it out and like repost it so everybody can hear it, just that story.
Please.
And me and Mark did...
Called that in for you.
Yeah. And me and Mark did a bunch of shows together, actually, because he was like... You were at the old studio a lot. Remember? There was a time period there where you were just in the garage enough times when I would show up. And
Yeah.
it was good.
Dean's garage.
Yeah. So...
Weekend talk.
You want me-
Saturday night, I went out. I went to Churchill's. There was a Rolling Stones.
Oh.
Nice.
Rolling Stones tribute night.
Why was that not on the chat?
Because I discovered it late night.
Damn.
I was looking for a place to go where nobody knows your name, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna go
Churchill.
over there. So I went over there with a friend and rocked it out, man.
That
It
sounds
was-
awesome.
And it was funny because I sit down at the bar, and there's the first Stones band coming on, and I see somebody, and they look at me, they're like, "You're that dude, right?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You're that guy from the karaoke guy. I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Are you singing tonight?" She's like, "You're from the Ibis. I remember you."
Oh, God.
God, that must have been
Is that a reputation
5 years
you wanna
ago.
have?
She's like, "Yeah, you
You made quite the mark.
I guess so, man."
Yeah.
She's like, she was asking if I was gonna go up and
Do some night moves.
do some. Yeah, well, I was like, no, man. I told her it's smoke and mirrors, man. It's you know the words and you can dance, and people think you can sing.
Manny's Rolling Stones every time, right?
Yeah.
No, it's the whole catalog of the Stones.
Yeah.
But, we'll do John Cougar, Bon Jovi.
Oh man, it's really neat.
It's like somebody's there.
No, I don't think the radio can hear it. Okay, does anybody want to talk about the wedding we went to?
Well, I'll start off with saying that I turned 30 years old on Friday.
30.
So that happened. Then one of my best friends got married. I was the best man.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
So
He did a good job.
fun
Did a
weekend.
good job at being the best
holding
man.
the rings and all that.
It
Gannon had
hurts
to
a
be the
little
best-
more when you're 30. You better watch out.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. But
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with my age.
You had a nice
The
little,
lifestyle.
The weekend.
you had a nice little getty last night too. Gannon, your
Oh,
dad
yeah.
and your mom put a nice
Yeah.
little party for you,
Silver
little birthday
Sands
party,
was
Silver
awesome.
Sands.
Yeah.
As usual, just sent out the text and all the good people showed up. Gilfried made an awesome cake.
It was really good.
We had a mini cake. It's just a good time. It's always pretty good. So
What about
thanks
you,
for coming out.
Weekend Anna?
Oh, I did the wedding, which was so fun. It was a good group of people. Everybody was pretty happy and jolly, and we danced a lot. Live music. But Rafa and I, the next day, we had planned on something, which when I woke up, I said, I don't want to do this anymore, because it was Sunday after the wedding. But we went on a bus tour called Weird Miami, hosted by Bass Fisher Invitational. And these curators and artists, local curators and artists, put it together to go to different spots in the city to discuss basically overdevelopment of the land in South Florida. So we even went to the boundary, the city boundary. What is it called, Rafa? The development boundary?
The urban development boundary.
Urban development boundary in the Everglades, and discuss different projects that are starting to develop there and how the boundary keeps getting pushed over and over and over.
The coolest part for me was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
They took us to the Miami World Center, sales office for all the units and stuff that they're building there in downtown, that big gigantic development. And we went into the guise that we were people looking to buy units, so it's like this whole group. But really, we were there to look at this thing as like some kind of dystopian nightmare that was happening. And so the salesperson is there like, welcome to the future.
In a suit.
Showing us this video, and everybody's there watching like, oh my God, look at this thing they're building. Jesus Christ.
Like ruining
and the
everything.
guy's all excited about it. It was so weird to like see that and think about it in a different way. And they give us all free waters.
It
and all
was-
this
it was
stuff,
surreal.
like
It was
Swedish
surreal.
water.
The sales office was ridiculously high tech with these huge screens and luxury lifestyle and millions of dollars and a British accent, and we were like,
Yeah, and the whole tour
"You
was
guys suck. You're ruining our city." But we didn't say anything. We just, took it all in.
yeah.
But it was great. The idea is great. I think it's awesome.
Open house crashers.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So does anybody want to talk about the wedding? Our friends Matt and Andrea got married. Matt Freed and Andrea Badin. I'll say that it almost got rained out, man. That was close.
Yeah,
It was very close.
Close call.
It was teetering on the edge.
Sitting up there, I was pretty nervous because there wasn't really a contingency plan for if it did start to rain bad enough that people started getting up. And it started dripping a little bit, but nothing like we're experiencing right now, thankfully.
It was
And
at
it
the
all
yacht
went
club.
out.
We'll throw that in.
Right. And it was just, I was a little bit nervous. I can't imagine the people this is actually, their wedding. I mean, it started to just drip. I remember Andrea saying, "Oh my God, it's raining," like in the middle of the whole thing. And everybody kind of like moved around their seats a little bit because it was, it was getting to that point where maybe we should get up, and then it kind of cleared up, and it all worked out.
I'll admit, I moved under the tent. Who laughed? Who? You want to name names?
Let's name names. I agree.
I mean, I don't blame them.
I
in your
stayed.
nicest clothes. But it definitely, when you have a ceremony, it's kind of nice to just not be rushed, to be able to take your time and like take in the moment and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're like worried about the rain, I felt it kind of, definitely gave it a little bit more of a tense atmosphere. Everybody was worried about what was going on.
It eventually didn't rain.
It did. It all worked out fine.
It totally worked out.
And then from there we went to the cocktail. I remember those caipirinhas they gave. And I thought was like, man, this tastes like a bad margarita. And then from there, there was I wanted to
Who
mention.
says that?
I mean, that's
Pan
I'm
margarita.
sorry.
Yeah,
That's what you have to say?
I'm trying to think of all the things that I remember.
We don't
I
all
remember
drink Negronis.
Yeah,
It's like a rum margarita type of thing.
I was actually, it was funny because I was actually getting gin tonics outside, and then I would go inside to Harold so that he would put like a splash of bitters in my gin tonic,
Oh,
and I'd do
God.
that over and over. And then the back patio crew, I remember that. That was a good memory. There was like a whole crew on the back patio.
There wasn't. I have to say, at one point, I'm dancing on the dance floor, and I'm like, where are all my friends?
Who do you guys think was the MVP of the wedding, non-bride or groom? I vote Brad Newsom.
Brad,
Danny DB.
Grant, Kunkel.
What's the criteria?
Dancing.
Who got the wettest while dancing? Brad Newsom wins.
Why, what happened to him?
I'm not sure what happened to him, but he was shoeless, kicking,
You're right. Filming.
filming.
Filmed everything.
He
I think
filmed
he,
everything.
I think he filmed the whole thing.
There was
He was like a dad at the first recital.
Yeah.
There was a
He was getting in
limbo
there.
stick.
There was a limbo stick. And then late night, me and Brad went to 7-Eleven in an Uber from the yacht club
Oh, that's necessary.
at 2 a.m.
Fuck.
and ate an entire pizza
Nice.
and bumped into the groom.
Nice. The groom was at 7-Eleven at 1 a.m.
Nice.
It's funny.
That's funny.
All right.
I took an Uber home on my wedding night. That was fun.
From the beach
with
club?
Your wife
From with the wife
Okay.
and a big bottle of Patron. They wouldn't know to bring into the front seat. It's kind of disappointing.
All right. This is the Rat Radio No One's Listening show. It's 7:45. It's November 25th, 2015. Got a
6:45, right?
6:45. Sorry. Got a great panel here of Key Biscayner's. And now we're moving on to. What are you listening to? Real quick. There's so many of us. I'll go first. Found this cool band. It's called Boogerins. And the song's called Mario de Andrade.
Mario
And they're a
de Andrade.
psychedelic rock band. And they sound kind of like Tame Impala, but they're Brazilian. And Grant turned me on to them, and they're really good. So I'll put that in the links. You want to mention one?
Oh yeah, I'm listening to an old favorite of mine. It's on an album called "In the Aeroplane Over the Sea." It's a song by a band called Neutral Milk Hotel.
Ooh, nice.
The song is called Holland 1945, and it's a barnstormer kind of song, and it's you feel really kind of hyped up and amped, and it's a really interesting song because it's part of a concept album that concerns the protagonist going back in time and falling in love with Anne Frank. And then Anne Frank gets reincarnated, and it just gets crazy and psychedelic and very, very emotional and romantic and interesting. And so, yeah,
I love that album.
it's a great album. It's a great song. And Holland 1945.
Nice. Mine is an old favorite also that I have to go back to because I'm a little drained at work, so I'm just trying to go back to favorites and not find anything new. Yeahs.
Yeah.
From the Fever to Yell album, 2003. Song Modern Love. It's so good. It ends the album. It's so good. It's like cool and mellow,
Great band.
but more cool. And I think that album is just amazing anyway.
It's not a Bowie cover, is it?
Is it?
I mean, Bowie
Modern
had a
Love?
song.
Uh-oh.
Called
Is
Modern
it? And I
Love.
don't know that.
Probably
and it's my
not.
song. Damn it.
Genius.com.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll tell you by the end of the show.
Nah, probably
But
not.
Yeahs, Modern Love, Fever to Yell album.
I'm sticking with the old favorite theme too as well.
Duh.
Listening to tapped into a little Beck album called
Nice.
Midnight Vultures. You know that album?
Of course.
The last track on that album, it's called Debra. It's like the album's kind of an
One of
homage
those hilarious songs.
to the Stones' emotional rescue days. And this tune Debra is about this guy who meets this girl that he's like, I met you at JCPenney. I think your name tag is said Jenny. So he's like gonna take her out to Glendale, have a really good meal. It's just a funny show, and he wants to get with her and with her sister too. So
Cool pick.
Debra.
I recommend for the radio some more Damian Marley. Welcome to Jamrock is a good one. I think that would fit in well. I've been noticing listening to the radio for the past week that all these requests are making it on, and it's great. The radio sounds good. I never get tired of the playlist. So
Nice,
good
thank
job,
you.
guy who
And
is
it's a
in
nice
charge
way
of
to-
that.
Good job,
It's a
someone.
nice way to add to your own playlist. You just
It's
go
great.
to that tune, pull it up, and add it to
all
your
my
playlist.
recommendations have made it on and then some. So they're listening.
When you
call in and give us yours, and I'm sure it'll be on the playlist.
yeah, if you want to call in, it's 305-361-8557. We'll take your calls.
Oh my God,
All right, moving on.
wait, can I say something?
Sure.
I got the wrong name for my song, which is very embarrassing, but I'd rather correct it now than let it go.
It is your song.
It's Modern Romance. I called it Modern Love.
Yeah.
Modern Romance. Yeah.
All right.
So there we go. Thank you.
Okay, talk of the town.
Segment introduction.
Yeah, it's Rat Radio. There's no one's listening show. Keep us game. So let's do announcements first. Winterfest is December 6th at the Village Green from 4 to 7:30 p.m. There's not going to be any rides because the fields are all beat up and they don't want to do rides this year. It's only going to be one day instead of two. Get your kids out there. It should be good. They'll like the tree and all that stuff. The KB Women's Club is selling pecans, fresh mammoth Georgia pecans for $12 a pound. We had them on the show. They were really good.
It's pecans.
Yeah. I like saying pecans.
I like the mammoth part.
I like pecans.
Sweet and spicy.
And I wanted to say a correction. I talked about Prudence Gill's Ghost Swamp art 2 shows ago. Prudence Gill is a woman and not a man, number one. That's part of the correction. And secondly, I said that it didn't think
His
it
name
looked...
is Prudence.
I don't know anybody's named Prudence.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, what kind of name is no, we shouldn't say that.
Beatles fan like you?
All right, sorry.
And secondly, I actually saw the Ghost Swamp in person. And I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. And I was wrong to say... I'd only seen it in pictures, and I thought it kind of looked eh. But I saw it in person, and it was cool.
I saw just the picture you sent to us, and I liked it just from the picture. I thought it was a nice piece.
The ones I had seen were just... They didn't do it justice. Okay, now let's get to some actual action.
I got a hand raise.
Talk of the town.
Oh, yeah.
Talk of the town. I went to Stefano's on Friday night to get a bottle of wine before picking up a pizza because I was staying in by myself. And remember I did mom talk or mom gossip that the lounge was happening? It is really happening. It's called Stefano's Lounge. They already have the vinyl up on the walls. They were doing some work in there. I did not peek because I was in a rush. I should have peeked. But I have to say, when I walked into Stefano's, it was a little club in there with this like unst music and unst people, okay, with super lit up. And all I wanted to do was ask the guy about the wine I should get, and I wasn't able to do that. I looked at him. The guys looked back at me. They know me pretty well there, and they looked back at me with this kind of surprised face, like, sorry, can't help you because there's a club going on. Okay?
There's some changes going on with Stefano. I don't know if you've seen the little Stefano cart
No?
No.
driving around the key.
No.
Little delivery cart.
Oh, but do you mean like the van?
No, like a golf cart that's been transformed
Into
to
a
a
club.
delivery cart.
Ah,
So it
okay.
has a big box on the back, and I think I know the owner, and I've seen him. He's driving the cart. So I don't know if he's just having fun with it or what. But
You got to ask him about the changes he's made because
I know.
it looks like a little modern. I don't know.
are they opening a lounge there?
That's
Next
what
door, where Chiefs used to be, it's going to be Stefano's Lounge.
Really?
But my concern is, I just want to go buy some liquor or some wine, whatever. Going into a club scenario to do that is not preferable.
Was Mike Bratton there hanging out?
he probably got scared away by that
He
kind of
wasn't.
music.
He wasn't. It's not that crowd. It's not that kind of crowd. That's what I'm saying. It's an
So I haven't been here
Yeah,
for
I
a while.
think
What do
they're-
you guys preference, Stefano's or Winn-Dixie?
I do
Liquors?
not like the Winn-Dixie liquor
Yeah.
store.
What?
I get very turned off
Yeah.
by
Really?
it.
Why? I like it.
Is it because
So
it's
put
not
off?
sexy or what? Because they definitely have
Great.
better prices from what I see.
Better prices,
Mm.
better selection.
Better
Easy
prices.
access.
What? Not better prices.
Yeah,
guys.
not better
No.
prices.
Sorry.
No?
On bourbon, hell yeah.
No.
No.
Not on Bullet anyway. It's like $5 more.
I like it because it's closer to my house.
Yeah.
Over there, right by the Garden District. It's right there.
Oh. Garden District, it's the Garden District, it's the Garden District, it's the Garden District, it's the Garden District, and it's Manny riding his golf cart, Chico barking his heart out in the Garden District, it's the Garden District, it's the Garden District.
Yeah.
All right, he said it.
For you guys that have not been living in the queue for the past couple months, Do you know about the Garden District?
I do not. I know the golf cart in
Do you know
Chico.
about the Garden
I
District?
didn't know there was a garden district.
There we go. So you're not alone. I'm joking.
Al, you live over there.
Apparently, I do. I don't necessarily support the name invention thing.
How can you not support the name?
So what are we talking about? Like the whole Galen
Why
area?
do we need a renaming? You know?
What should we rename it from? What? From the low rent district?
Hey man,
The
you're saying-
affordable
you're saying,
homes?
not me.
It's definitely better.
Yeah.
I like it, and,
Yeah.
and I think there's support.
It's
too.
a long-running thing on the show that
Play
we
for
laugh
her.
at Manny calling it the Garden District, even though we all call it that now. But
Thank you.
I had to make a
There's
little
even a
jingle.
song now.
I knew,
There's-
yeah.
it even has a
I was
song.
waiting for you to say it just so I could.
How'd you know I was going to say it?
Oh.
The jingle is very Bob's Burgers.
It is.
No.
So what were you saying about the
Garden
district?
I have no idea. Oh, the Stefano's was closer to it.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh.
Winn-Dixie was closer
Yeah.
to it, rather. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the Stefano's Lounge. We'll check it out. To me, it has a vibe of Ibis again, and so that's not a great vibe.
Not what we're looking for. Not what we're looking for.
When you
From
think
what
lounge-
you guys are saying, it sounds like you guys remember in the square that like wine lounge that like came out to the parking lot that only was around for a couple months.
No, what is this?
We were all underage. Not that we were drinking, but just looking as innocent bystanders.
Right.
We're out there smoking pot. And
Yeah.
It's just in front because you couldn't.
Well, we're doing what we were able to do, right?
This isn't
Everything.
Colorado, buddy. We're not in Colorado.
Yeah, this
right?
is in Colorado.
That's.
But do you remember? It was probably around your time.
What's
in
that?
like the square, they had like a little wine club field that they'll put out like furniture out in the parking lot and stuff.
I don't remember
I don't remember that either.
I remember my older
college or
brother going
pre-college?
to it.
This was-
Pre-college.
Pre-college?
Yeah, I was like a freshman in high school when
That was,
this
I
was going
think,
on.
that was when I was in jail, actually. I think.
Oh, okay.
This was 03, 04 or something like that. I worked at the square right after that place closed, and they told me that it closed because of the underage thing, because there was too many underage people.
I wasn't one of them.
No, you were over. You guys were hanging out at the Old Key Grill. The
Yeah.
underage people, right?
That's another. I mean, that had a better vibe than what the Stefano's Lounge
Well,
seems to have.
old Stefano's had a better vibe
Yeah.
than
I'm gonna find out about that. I'm gonna ask.
Old Stefano was
owner.
it
awesome.
was awesome. That pool table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the talk of the town?
Okay, so there was an incident with these suitcases. You guys heard about that, right?
Yeah.
A suspicious
You mean the bomb scare?
A suspicious.
The key bombs.
A suspicious suitcase scare at Key Biscayne Community Church. At the Salvation Army donation box, which is not actually a Salvation Army donation box, somebody left 2 suitcases, and somebody else called the police, like, what are these suitcases here? Police calls the bomb squad. The bomb squad comes in. They x-ray the suitcases. They see some kind of electronics in it, so they're like, that's it. That's enough. They blow it up. It turns out that the woman who left them there was told not to leave them because that's not a Salvation Army drop box anymore.
Who told her not to leave him?
The people at the church.
The official.
They're like,
They
don't
saw
leave
her
it.
leaving
Pastor.
it.
No, she asked her something, and they were like, this isn't a place to leave it anymore. But she took it upon herself to
Leave it
just
anyway.
leave it anyway. She was like, well, where am I going to put this? And she just left it outside this box that's there. And so she left them, and then she later found out about the situation with the bomb squad. So while they're doing all this ordeal of taping it off, watch out, she is there, not there, but apparently she's in the vicinity and knows that something is going on. She's too scared and embarrassed to come forward. So after it blows up and everything, she finally admits it, and that's it. And they told her, hey, I mean, okay. And nothing happened to her, but
What was in the suitcase?
just
Was
electronics.
it a box of old porn?
VHSs.
Yeah, it's like a
VHS.
VHS and an answering machine. or
Hello,
something.
Debbie Does Dallas.
She had no way to watch it.
Yeah.
No, she
Lady.
couldn't find a VCR.
Lady, if you're listening, if you want to call in, tell us what was in the suitcase. 361-8557.
I wonder though who.
Did
The
they
per-
bill her for like the bomb or whatever after coming forward?
That's called tax money, no?
From what I understand, they did not do anything to her. They didn't. I mean,
So
honestly,
if
I
you
don't
want
think
to
it's
see the bomb squad do something cool, just to leave
Yeah.
a suspicious, unthreatening package.
No, first call to see if you can do it.
Yeah.
Then when they tell you you can't.
I want a live demo.
Yeah.
But that's true because in the end, it's not illegal to just leave some suitcases on the side of the road. You know
Probably
what I mean?
is illegal.
I don't know.
To
TSA
do so
tells me
to
no
do
all the
so-
time.
To do so intentionally with the goal of getting the bomb squad out is definitely illegal.
At its very least, it's
You will get billed.
at the very least it's dumping. You know.
Bradley
Obviously,
Newsome
it's
actually
not
showed me last night. He's got a video of it.
We
Did
saw
you see
video.
it?
That's I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Did you guys send me a video, or did I make this up? But Brad showed us. A
Brad
video.
had it from all the way across the street where his, where Heather meets Crandon.
I think it was further than that. He was in the Village Green, right?
He was
Video?
across the village. Gonna
He was across, he was across the Village Green looking at it.
And the guys were out there apparently with the full bomb suits and everything. Somebody said that they actually were like 3, 2, 1, and it didn't go off. And they did it again, 3, 2, 1. It didn't go off. So the bomb dude, the Marshmallow Man, had to like walk back in,
Ghostbusters.
walk back in, figure it out, and do it again. So.
I have a relevant story to that. When I did my ride-alongs with the City of Miami Fire Department, it was a suitcase, suspicious package at a bus stop, and I saw the whole thing go down, and they sent in the little robot with the screen and all this stuff, and like, you know, just getting to the suitcase, the robot dies, like runs out of battery. These guys are all like in the command.
Miami.
These guys are all like in the command module, like looking through screens and stuff,
Yeah.
and the remote control robot dies.
Oh my god.
And basically, they send a guy, no Marshmallow Man suit, out there just to like pop another battery into it, like right next to the suspicious package, pop another battery into it, and keep going. I mean, it's kind of.
Not even
When I
like a
heard that,
grappling hook.
And I saw in the group text it said bomb threat. I was like, slow down. I know it's just them blowing up stuff that somebody called in, and that's what they do, you know. I mean,
Yes.
Not to say that there's no real threats out there.
A
but,
little
I mean,
shout out to my friend Felipe who's listening. It was his friend that came into my office, and so that's why I called it Teen Talk, because that's how I heard about it, and it was bomb threat on the key. And G-Man was right away like, okay, bomb threat or suspicious package?
I think they know automatically that it's not a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, but they just go through the procedure. And I talked to the chief, and he even told me that they were happy to have done it, just to have gone through the motion of having to do it. Yeah.
So like basic training.
Yeah, basically. Well, no, not really.
Speaking of, I mean, as far as practice, Rafa, I'm not trying to change, go on a parallel here with this subject, but I heard something, after Paris and all that, and the security measures that they're doing in New York, they actually have teams on call all the time right now that are just ready to respond to some kind of terrorist activity. Like they will be. It's like calling 911 for the terrorists. So it's a team that's already
Roaming, like
embedded
patrolling or something?
embedded and roaming within the city, just waiting for the call. That's scary, man. That's scary that it's like to that
I
point.
mean, I'm pretty sure it's been like that since 2001 to some degree. I don't think that's anything new. Maybe it's to a greater degree now, but obviously they've had like terrorist task force for a long time, especially in New York of all places.
They mentioned it now.
Right, because of the relevant news happenings.
I gotta say,
I didn't read that.
not to go off on more of a tangent, but security kind of scares me. Going back to like 2007 when I graduated from college, after 9/11 and all that fun stuff, not fun stuff, but horrible stuff. But you would think that they would have their act better than to me convince my parents to drive my car down to take my father's boarding ticket, use my older brother's fake ID to go through security and get on a plane to be told, oh, it's canceled because of a hurricane in Miami. Put up on a hotel, ask my dad, all the while telling people I left my wife, mom.
That was definitely a
Because so like,
tangent.
where's your companion? And then pass security again.
So
I was like, if I was able to do that with like half hungover, I don't think we have bigger fish to worry about.
Sorry about that, Rafa.
That was a hell of a tangent.
In fact, when Rafa said we're going to be going on tangents
is there a
tonight, we have a
tangent
special
jingle?
guest. We didn't mention who it was, but we
Wait,
just
now we know.
we just had to tee it up there, right there.
Howdy, aren't you a guy who has like 5 social security numbers?
No, I got 3 identities.
that makes it clear.
Yeah. It's not my fault, but I roll with it. You know, background checks work in my favor, which is awesome. My parents misspelled my birth certificate and my social security card, so my driver's license doesn't match up to them. So when I try to go do like legal stuff like taxes, the government's never really all that happy with me.
Yeah, they're like, who are you, Shaniqua
Yeah.
Howdigi?
But
Your real name is like Old Jandro, right, or something?
yeah, old Jandro.
How is it spelled? It's hilarious. It's so good.
It's ALJAENDRO.
Al Jazeera?
Old Jandro.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, that's my birth certificate spelled like that. And then my social security has my middle name, Xavier for you Basque people, Xavier for the Americans.
We're spiraling, Rafa. Spiraling.
Oh, but it's gone.
Let it go. Let it flow.
It's gone. Let it flow. Let it flow. Keep going.
No, this
Keep
is
going.
excellent.
Yeah.
And then the other idea is what?
Oh, it's Xavier. It's XVIARE. I believe it's like that. And I found this out because when I got my first real job where I got paid stubs, they were like, oh, your ID that you gave us doesn't match your social security number. And they were giving me, they didn't want to like deposit my checks basically, so I had to go to DMV. And I was like, all right, I'll just go to DMV. I got my ID card, I got my birth certificate, and then the lovely lady at the DMV, not too lovely, tells me my birth certificate is misspelled too, and I need to go legally change my name at the court. And I'm like, well, what does that entail? And she's like, well, you got to make an appointment and pay a judge. I was like, for my parents' mistake? Forget it. Keeping it.
Cool.
So all three of your identities have excellent credit, is what you're saying.
One of them does. One of them doesn't have a criminal record, and the other one is still unused. You know, I'm waiting for like midlife crisis to break into that one.
That's awesome. I love that story.
All right, we didn't mention this 2 weeks ago, but Jesus, the dude who lived behind 7-Eleven, passed away.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No friggin' way.
Yeah.
I used to buy him beer.
And, I mean, we found this out 2 weeks ago.
Found him at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they found him behind the 7-Eleven in the little grassy area between the 7-Eleven and Calusa Park. That's where he would kind of chill out at night.
Oh, man.
And, yeah, I mean, that guy was a staple, staple of the key. Almost like a mascot, even. Not to put him down or anything.
When I was growing in the 80s, there was a homeless person here, Helen. I don't know if you ever. It was a woman who was
some kind of witch or something. You guys told me, right?
Some kind of witch.
Little Santeria.
What?
I don't know. I remember some story of like some witch who would live in the Shady Grove.
Shady Grove. No, that was before Helen.
Oh, okay.
There was another one there before Helen.
How about like the Jesus dude with the cane?
The Moses.
No, that's the
Moses
drunk
dude.
monk.
The monk.
Moses,
The-
the drunk
yeah.
monk,
That's a drunk monk. I saw him. He's a veteran. I used to see him at the VA when I worked there.
Yeah, he moved to downtown or something, and now he's with, I think,
lived
with
over
still
in
alive
Gannon.
with the VA.
Cute as cane.
So Jesus died the way he lived, man. He was found with a grid in one hand and a beer in the other. They think he died of a heart attack or something like that because it seemed sudden that he would have the things in his hands, you know?
And people have left flowers and coins and some dollar bills ever since on that bench there. So if you feel, I feel like you're very touched by this.
Well, you know, when someone takes the time to yell at you in Russian on a sunny afternoon, you just, I don't know, you form a bond with that person.
Yeah.
He was around for at least 15 years. There's a video on YouTube that we made during Hurricane Wilma. If you look up Storm Hunter's Hurricane Wilma, Jesus comes out like 50 seconds
Makes
in.
a cameo.
Yeah, he says, and he says this line that me and Andy repeat to ourselves all the time. He goes, "I don't care a storm," because we ask him like, "What do you think about the storm?" He's like, "I don't care a storm. I live in Key Biscayne a long time." It was good. And yeah, he passed away. So rest in peace, Jesus.
Rest in peace.
He passed away on a Wednesday night while we're here
Yeah.
chatting it up. Well, I think right before.
Speaking of Wednesday night, Al, can you pass me a beer, please?
Hey, Utah, make that too.
Make it 3.
Four.
Just grab that whole box.
Bring the
I think.
friggin' cooler in here. How about
There
that?
you go.
Good idea.
We might get it messy.
Yeah.
Take an intermission for
A beer
for the
intermission.
cooler. You're listening to Rat Radio. This is the No One's Listening show where we talk about Key Biscayne stuff. It's Wednesday, November 25th, 2015. It is 7:05 p.m. Got a great panel of Key Biscayners here. Some have traveled really far to be here in the studio today, and some have traveled 10 minutes.
Came from the Smoky Mountains of Colorado.
The number to call in is 305-361-8557. You can text us, too, at the same number, 361-8557, if you have anything you want to discuss. Let's get to the beef here, I guess. The council is going to buy, or is set to vote on buying the property at Hampton and Heather. This is a property that's been around for a couple years now. It's sitting vacant. And people have been using it as a makeshift dog park. And so they're going to vote on Tuesday whether to buy it for $2.09 million. The Land Acquisition Committee put together this deal. They're the same ones who put together the 202 Sunrise deal. But this one seems like it has much more of a chance of passing. So we got that going on.
I didn't
And
think...
So, like,
Go ahead.
buying it, like, eminent domain? Like,
no, like
Just
straight
buying
up,
it
just
straight up.
buying it. And so they're voting on
That's
Tuesday.
old Amico with, like, the Great Bank on Biceps, no?
No, we're talking about
No.
Hampton and Heather. It's an
Heather,
empty lot.
my old street. So
Oh, that's where they used to, like, keep all, like, the equipment when they're...
no, not even close.
It's an empty residential
It's-
lot on Hampton.
you know
and
my
Heather.
street, my old street.
Yeah,
Okay, and you know the Wallen Street.
yeah.
That corner, there's
That
an empty
corner.
lot, and
Wait.
they're gonna buy that.
Which
know
is
that-
the first time we've talked about this on the show, about having a lot like that in this residential, super residential house area, which I think is interesting. What do you guys think of the difference between that and doing it on the building side?
Where? Doing it where?
In a more...
In the
Low rent district.
Can you call
Anna.
the garden?
Teed it right up for you there, Anna.
Oh, my bad.
It's a smaller park. It's less than 10,000 feet. Smaller lot compared to 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's in a neighborhood, so someone's house is going to be right next to it. Someone's house that has a yard that apparently the neighbors did a petition that they're in favor of it because they didn't want to come up against that. My concern is that the Land Acquisition Committee has brought it forward, which is what their job is to do. But the council is going to say, okay, great, we'll buy this one for a lot less. We'll finance it. We probably won't even get into our stash of money anyway, and we'll appease the folks that want open space and green space, and we'll go on to the next thing. Where I think the Land Acquisition Committee might be better served going into the council and saying, look, here are 3 properties, and here's a timeline for acquiring all this land, and having a sort of a bundled package
I agree with
and
you.
a better vision that is more comprehensive towards the big picture.
And presenting as a project, the development of green space. Sorry.
I'll say, like, I live right by there, Hampton and Heather. I didn't know that was even happening until I read the Islander today. It's nice that there won't be another house built there, and it's probably a good investment for the Key, just to have property there. But it's not going to be used just like everything else. It's going to be like some benches that every once in a while some maids sit on. It's not going to be like some nexus of the neighborhood where people are like hanging out and having wine together and like
Everybody in that neighborhood has a backyard.
Yeah.
That's why the neighbors went for it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's an
Yeah, so-
open space.
but
We don't have neighbors, really.
Let give the mic there.
Yeah.
Say it again, Anna.
I said that's why I think the neighbors went for it. They're not going to have neighbors, really. They're going to have
it's a beautiful
somebody
thing, yeah. They have an
sitting
extra
there
yard.
during the day, and they have an open spot.
100%.
So
That's
But-
exactly one of the things that was put forth.
To add to that, like the Garden District already has two of the greatest parks on the Key. I mean, you have the beach park, that whole green space area. Nobody really I never see anybody there, like hanging out in the greenish area. That's right in the Garden District. And then there's the other park right by those ponds and fountains there with the little, gazebo dock thing, and that gets underutilized too. Yeah. Somebody pointed this out in a letter, and I have to say it was pretty convincing. I mean, there's like these two parks that are common areas for people to gather that don't even really get utilized already. So, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I think that as far as the beach park goes, I don't think it's really right in the open area. It's more, I mean, you have to go through a gate to get there, and I do believe it does get used. I mean, it
gets used, but it's not like it's overcrowded with too many people. I think maybe you're spreading your public spaces there too thin. I mean, you already have great spots to meet up in the Garden District.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 202 spot is one where there's a lot more. There's buildings on both sides. So the one that you're talking about, that lake front, is really part of Ocean Club, in my opinion. Right. I mean, there's the one whole side is Ocean Club. No one there is going to use it. The other one's sandwiched in between all the buildings. So, and I know that over there. I mean, Al, cause you see it over there. How many people do you see walking on the street over there on Sunrise every day? I mean, these people are up and down, walking their dogs, walking their kids to school, kids coming back. So I just think I think that would be used. I think it'd be used a lot more. And I don't think that park over there where the pond is really even a park. It's a pond. And then there's a bench that overlooks the pond.
Right.
That has a bunch of birds and.
All right. Well, I'll do that in there, but really, the beach park is pretty awesome, and it's right by your house.
Well, that little park at the end by the beach park, Hill Park. I go there all the time.
It's too far.
I go to that beach park all the time.
Yes, Rafa.
So two things. The beach park gets a lot of use, just not the grassy area, because when you go to a beach park, you're going to the beach. Right. I always thought that in the grassy area they should put a little skate park, but that's not going to happen. But either way. It has no use, but the little hill park, which I on this show said was crap.
It's not. The hill park gets a lot of action.
A lot of action.
Right outside the entrance of the beach club.
Right,
that one gets a lot of action.
There's that artificial mound there.
Yeah. All right, maybe it's not underused, but it's certainly not overused.
I think
it's
that
plenty used.
It's not overused though.
No. I think the arguments about use in public space almost miss the point. For me, the point of public space is public space itself. That is, having it is its own good. Whether it's used or not is fine. But for me, the space itself is sufficient, even if no one ever uses it ever. I think in general, cities in the West, especially in America, probably can use some more just public space of any kind.
I'm with Al. It's the idea of the space and the element that it creates on the island, period. I see what some people are saying about not having it not be used, but then if we present it as a package deal, like you're saying, Manny, it creates this, certain element on the island that you have that available for you.
You can make an extreme form of the argument and say, most people will never go to Yosemite, or if they go once in their lives. But it's nice to know that it's there.
Well, that's preserving a natural wilderness, not having a place for just the people who live in a certain area to go to.
I think that's splitting hairs. Right. I don't think that matters. I think it's public space.
All right, agree to disagree.
So, coming from Boulder, maybe not in Boulder, there's a ton of these little parks, public spaces, and I have two thoughts on it. To one, I kind of agree with it's great to see them, have them. You might stop, you might not have. I don't barely use them, but it's just nice to know that there's that open space, a little green patch that I can go to. It's not all concrete. Another thing that I gotta think about, in Boulder, kind of Key Biscayne, I gotta think that the markets are very similar price wise. You start buying up houses just to have fields. It's gonna reduce the amount of land that other people can also live in. I'm not saying that. I feel it's a bigger issue overall where Miami needs to think about it as a whole and be able to have accessible Crandon Park or Cape Florida, because we have a ton of really open space that doesn't get utilized whatsoever.
One thing that's the other argument is that even if something like 202 or this other lot, more 202 doesn't get bought, it turns into a building and it gets like, at least 25 to 33 more cars or something like that. Sitting there, and you probably want a green space more than a building next to you. I mean, that's for sure. And then another argument that I heard at the wedding this weekend was, it's funny that you called it the low rent district, because someone was making the case that the council is always kind of in favor of what the people in the houses are doing, and they do brush off the low rent district, and that the 202 Sunrise kind of had, I mean, a small part of it is that kind of feeling of like, we don't live out there, nobody on the council lives out there or anywhere near there, and it's like, well, we're never going to use that side of the island, but this other side of the island we will use, and we can see more of a thing for it.
Crossing Crandon.
Just one of the issues. So anyway, they're set to vote on this, and apparently they have the votes, and they're going to get it. I mean, unless some kind of wrench goes into the whole thing, they have the votes. They need to, they have to vote. They need a super majority, so it has to be a 5-7 vote at least to approve it. But apparently the votes are there, and they're going to do it.
How's it? I was gonna say, how's it looking?
I heard they might even have 6 votes for it.
Well, there you go. So, I don't know. If you have an opinion, it's 305-361-8557.
So speaking of votes, Rafa, I don't know, this is not really changing subjects, but in the council, what's the schedule that we're on in terms of council seats and upcoming elections and that kind of stuff?
Okay, there's a good rumor going around. I guess it's hearsay that at the next election in November, I mean, it's still a year out, so who knows what's going to happen, right? But that Mike Davey is going to challenge Myra Lindsay for the mayorship. That's what I heard. I didn't hear more details, and I didn't hear from him, so I can't even give any speculation. But it will be kind of a referendum on this. That's what the person who told me thought it would make it a referendum on this, because Myra is more in favor of this stuff, and Mike Davey is not in favor of acquiring things for the most part, even though he did work on trying to get the beach club. So who knows? Maybe
I don't know if that's true that Mike's not in favor of that stuff.
When he was on the council, he voted against. He didn't want to go for the Sonesta, and he didn't want to go for the Weaver lot either. That was what was brought up. So, maybe he's maybe he didn't see it that way before, but now he does. Who knows?
So there's
I like them both.
The mayorship is up for re-election, and then there's also 3 council spots that will be up for.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna run?
I'm not gonna run.
Just
no.
kidding. No way.
And
so somebody was telling me the other day that you should run, and I was like, no, Manny can't run. Manny needs to be his role. His role is his role, and we don't need him in the council. We need him doing what he does.
Well, we were with a guy last night that I think would be perfect for the council and even for that top job. So we're gonna try to get him up there.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to drive him around.
We have a call?
Oh, we've got a caller.
Oh, someone's listening.
Oh, nobody listens to.
Yes, this is the show.
I did not have porn in those suitcases. I very much resent you saying I had porn. That's just my husband's dirty underwear.
Oh my God, this is too good.
What's he saying?
So wait. Why did you leave the suitcases? Even though
I'm tired of doing his laundry. He's got really smelly old underwear. Not porn. I resent that.
It's not porn? Oh, my bad. Okay.
Anything else you want to leave for the Salvation Army?
Bye.
No, that's it.
Oh, lady, thanks for calling in.
I couldn't really hear that.
Which friend of ours was that?
I think I know who it was.
That was the lady who left the suitcases. She just
She was
it
saying
wasn't porn.
it wasn't porn. It was just what, underwear? Old underwear?
Yeah, her husband's old underwear, and she was tired
I
of
was
doing
tired
it.
of doing the laundry.
It was ropa vieja.
There it is.
Oh,
Welcome
man.
back, man.
It was really an old. Oh.
Okay, and the last thing is that the Island News sold, and who knows what's going to happen. They sold to a publishing company called American Hometown Publishing. Nancy Ray, the editor, is out. Kelly Josephson, the woman who runs who writes everything in the paper, everything
Yeah.
in the paper. Today's paper, because it came out today, had for Thanksgiving, had 3 articles on the front page, like stacked in columns. All 3 of them, Kelly Josephson. She writes the whole thing. Now she's interim editor while they
Search for
a new editor.
I wonder if we can get the new ownership on the show. We don't
I
want
wonder, maybe. That'd be, you know what? They're not. I wouldn't want them on the show just yet. We'd have to meet them first and see
Okay.
what's
We'll
up.
have to
You know?
interview them.
I would love Kelly Josephson on this show, though.
Yeah.
That would be good.
She could do the
She
entire
should be
show
a
herself.
regular.
Yeah, she could do it all herself.
That's hilarious.
But she's great, and I was talking to somebody, and we were saying if we poached Kelly Josephson, if you had the investment money to take her away from the Islander, you would just, especially right now, would be a good opportunity to do it because it's not Key Biscayne owned anymore or anything. Anna Owens used to own the paper, and she's from the Key from forever. Since now it's not Key Biscayne owned, I bet Kelly could be lured away with some money and some good principles behind a new publication.
to do what?
To do an Island News that's not owned by American Hometown Media, and that is like
their
more
own
modern
place.
in the sense of being on the web and stuff like that, like properly, like as an actual.
You guys are probably
thing.
too young to remember Scott Bass.
That was
and
the best.
Mark, obviously.
Coconut
not, but
Telegraph.
Coconut Telegraph.
Yeah. I used to work with Diego Betancourt over in the Square, and he was good friends with Scott and his wife. I forgot her name. Do you remember? Blonde woman. She was really nice too.
Where is this new company based out of?
Tennessee or something like that. They own a bunch of newspapers, and so they bought this one too. They own a bunch of local papers. So that's that, and it's 7:25 p.m. on the No One's Listening show, Key Biscayne, November 25th. It's a Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I'm
What
going
do
to
you
miss
guys-
Nancy Ray, actually.
Yeah?
I miss Nancy. Yeah. Nancy was...
Was the Rock?
Yeah.
Well,
and it was
she's bought an RV and they're going to tour the country, so I think she's very happy.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool story.
So you
So
guys,
what do you want to talk about, like Thanksgiving plans or anything like that?
Yeah,
or,
Thanksgiving plans. I'll hear
do you
your
guys-
plans.
What we're thankful for?
Yeah, what we're thankful for.
1, 2, 3, jinx.
Oh, damn.
What are you guys thankful for?
I'm thankful for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thankful for all the ways that we get to enjoy and realize our community.
I'm thankful we got this radio back up this year, man. That is big.
Amen.
That is big. It's been
I'm
too
thankful
long.
for the show. It's
Yeah.
a good rock in the middle of my week.
Yeah.
Feels good.
I'm thankful
Honestly.
for all of our listeners that are going to donate money to us so we can keep the show going.
Oh, that's-
Because we're falling on hard times here at Rat Radio. I know we don't act like it, but
Yeah, the
we're
wine and cheese.
barely
Don't let
keeping the
wine and
lights on.
cheese fool you.
Yeah.
Barely keeping the lights on here.
Yeah, talk about your 24-hour, you need money for your generator and
Yeah.
Yeah, we need power, basically.
Need power.
That's
Need
something
Need more power.
that I did want to mention. I forgot to write it down, which is we've been having technical difficulties this week because of situations, and the radio turns off on its own at like 4 o'clock. And what we need is more power, and we need money to do that. So we're exploring avenues. But if you listen to the radio and you would like to give money, seek us out. You know.
You know what I saw?
Or pecans, that's cool too.
Today I saw or yesterday on Facebook, somebody shared a GoFundMe page, which was for Shake 108.
Right.
So
Well, they're in a different. Well,
Yeah, but
it's
I mean,
a different
like,
situation.
GoFund. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're
So really, we depend on the locals.
Right.
So we can't
Is
do
what we're
something like
saying.
that. We can't do a GoFundMe.
We can't do
thing.
something like that, but we can talk to you guys.
We're looking for a benefactor, like somebody who cares about the community and sees the significance of having this.
It's most likely going to be the people in this room.
Yeah.
So most of the listeners, in other words.
To be clear, we're not talking about the show. It's about the music that you listen to all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Because when I get onto the key, the first thing I do is put it on 104.7 to listen to the music I like to listen to.
You know what we should do? We probably can't do this. I was gonna say put an advertisement right there on when you're coming into the key on one of those
Again.
at the bus stops. Yeah, because when people
Not
are
the
like, oh, I
problem.
never think about it. I never think about putting the station on.
That costs the money you want.
Well,
And that's like our whole budget that we need to get the radio going.
Yeah.
How about a benefit show, benefit party, concert?
We're gonna
Benefit show, I like that.
we're gonna do some kind of
Yeah.
benefit.
special
thing.
guests. Well, we'll pull it together.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
But with
wait
your
like
help.
about a month. We'll get it together.
We're
we
at
got some
that
ideas
stage.
down
We're
the
at that
line.
stage.
But if you do want to give money, just keep listening, and we'll give you avenues to.
Or just the support of posting on the website or whatever, that somebody's actually listening, so it's worth, investing time and money into it.
Yeah, we love to
Would
hear
be
the
nice.
feedback.
So
So you guys want to keep going around with what you're thankful for, if anything else?
Al,
7-Eleven pizza at 2 in the morning on a Saturday night.
there you go. Oh,
Caminho to croquetas and getting my salvavida in shape for the ski season. It's nothing better.
Don't know what this is.
Yeah, the salvavida, if you guys don't know, it's that little bottom ring of your six pack that's just like a fat that like protects you when you fall on the snow or water.
It's your
But I'm not
extra-
such a water rat. I'm a snow rat now.
It's your
So
extra Michelin.
yeah, it's my Michelin. I got 4 Michelin stars. Each one is dedicated to a different aspect, personality, or talent,
I remember.
and I can talk to it.
Yeah.
The wife is shy.
Well, I remember this probably added to it. We once shared a 7-Eleven pizza at like whatever time in the morning with Bob, one of our other co-hosts, and we put jalapenos on it, and we ate the entire thing.
Yeah,
You, me, Bob, and Andres.
I wouldn't even lie. I've taken one to the face by myself.
We had a
If
whole,
Sir Pizza side open, 7-Eleven, here I come. They don't remember my name or face that much anymore, which is kind of disappointing. And there's some new faces there, and it's
But
like,
Omar's still there. He remembers you. He
Yeah.
remembers me.
yeah,
I think he remembers a lot of us.
he's the best.
Yeah.
there's a few, like the lady who makes cafecitos in the morning. She remembers me.
Yeah.
Poca azúcar, gracias.
Oh, you're saying at Oasis?
No,
No, 7-Eleven.
Which is also the secret Cuban coffee spot.
Yeah.
Really good
Or not so
Cuban
secret.
Discount gas is
Discount gas is also not bad.
I've never had the coffee there.
I had a coffee today at Oasis. Oh, that's another thing.
What's going on at Oasis?
They're still building that
They
whole thing.
started
Is,
again, huh?
they're gonna
They're
knock
shooting
that
for
thing
what,
down.
The year 3000 on the.
Yeah, I know.
they're moving now. They're moving. Now, they were stopped for a while, but they're moving pretty quickly now. I mean, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
They got to crank in. I was just talking today about how it's going to be kind of sad that whole little coffee window's not going to be like it was. It's going to be a indoor place with air conditioning and Wi-Fi. It'll just be a lot different to drop in there, and I don't know. It'll be much nicer, but
Wait,
it won't be as much fun.
They're gonna.
AC?
And
I
Wi-Fi.
don't think it's going to be.
There's already Wi-Fi.
I mean,
Boo.
once they move into the place they're building, I'm sure they're going to shut down the old place and then.
No.
They're gonna knock
I
down
need a window.
They're
I
gonna
need to build
knock
a
down
window.
our window
Yeah.
before
But that's,
it finishes.
that's why I go there.
That he told me already. I talked to Carlos. He's like, no. I thought they were gonna build on top of it, but no, they're knocking it down.
One of the first guests on this show ever.
Yeah.
All time.
Yeah. They're gonna knock down that whole area, but then they're gonna build another area with the same window
Because you need
kind
a
of
window.
layout.
That's like a culturally, like a Miami culture concept. You know, it's not everywhere they have
And they'll
windows.
still.
like
I
that.
mean, I'm sure they'll still have the coffee window.
They need it.
I hope so.
I miss the coffee windows being up in Colorado. People don't even understand what, like, I call it Cuban crack in the office. They gave me like this 22 like megalith like coffee maker, and like I make it every afternoon, and I walk around and have so many people addicted that I can like blackmail them to do work now. It's awesome. Then it's like, well, where's my report? You want coffee? I need my report. Yeah.
Master of the universe.
That's the way it goes down.
Get them addicted to the Cuban love.
All right, so what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Getting drunk.
I don't have any place to go.
Oh.
Oh.
We will take care of that, Mark. We will take care of that.
I'm going to a house party. We got like 27 people, so a bunch of families, and it's gonna be nice. Right here on the Key.
Cool. In the Garden District?
No, over there in the what? I mean, what's the other part called?
What's the other side?
The west side?
The good side of the tracks.
The non-gardens.
Yeah, I don't know what you even call it. In the residential area, and
The high life.
the home, the house, yeah.
The west side.
The west side.
West side,
That's right.
west side of the key.
The French Quarter.
I was at I was charged with buying the pies, bringing the pies. So I was at Fireman Derek's this morning at 7:30 a.m. You know that place in
Yeah.
Wynwood, the bakery in Wynwood. So it was there was like 20 people in line already to load up on pies. If you hadn't ordered already, you had to be there for the on-demand piece. So I got my pies.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll be bouncing from North Miami Beach back to the Key, splitting our time between Anna's family and
Yeah.
my family, the good old Jauregui boys. And we got some girls now. Like I married one and assimilated her.
I married one.
I married one.
I married a girl.
I married one.
There was a girl. I married one.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. Wait. Let's talk about the fact that they're all named Anna.
Yes,
And
we got Anna Maria,
And as is your mom.
Annabella, and Anna Lucia. Anna Lucia is my wife, the coolest one. Sorry, Mom.
Mom, look.
Hey, I gotta play favorites now. I live with this one 3,000 miles away. Earmuffs. No, but they're all awesome Annas and AAs, not Alcoholic Anonymous, because they taught us better. Not.
What about you, Rafa?
What, Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I am so happy to be going once again to the Recalt House. Recalt's here.
It is really fun. Let's not
Yeah,
lie.
it's so good.
What time's that party
Let me
over
tell you.
there tomorrow?
Let me tell you a story.
4
I'll tell you.
p.m..
I'll tell you a Thanksgiving story. So my family, none of them live here. And last year, my mom was going to come into town because she's like, "What are you doing for Thanksgiving?" I'm going to come into town just so we can have Thanksgiving, right? And I was thinking to myself, Mom, like, if you come in for this, it's going to be just me and you sitting at a table. And I love my mom, don't get me wrong. But we eat dinner, when she's here, we eat dinner every night. It's just going to be me and you sitting at a table, whatever. I was like, Mom, you do your thing. You stay wherever you are. She travels a lot. Stay wherever you are. I got a whole thing. And it was all, I just told her that because I really wanted to get invited to the Recall House, where it's like a huge family.
I self-invited,
and it's
though.
that big family atmosphere that you love,
Right.
They don't love it, but I love it.
Wait, Rob.
How does Michelle feel about it?
No, but I have to
All
say,
good?
they don't play it up like we do. And Rafa and I are like, are you going? Are we getting the invite? Did you get the invite this year? Because
Can I
also
crash it?
I
I
joined
didn't
at the
realize
end.
it was so exclusive and so
They-
desirable.
Listen, we played music. They played music. I danced. I had the best time last year. Okay.
Well, look. Really, you guys are overplaying it. All you need to have a party of the caliber that we're talking about is
Family.
Big Lou and a handle of doers.
Or Big Lou and some kashak.
And a guitar.
Oh, that's right.
Kashak.
No, but it's got all those little elements of the fun, big family, and I know almost everybody there, and
Yeah.
then you guys have your all, like, little things that you don't like about each other, and they kind of come out, and it's so
Very
funny.
Thanksgiving, very
And then I forgot what your dad said last year, but it was so character. It was like, did he recite the Pledge of Allegiance or something? I forget what it was. It was awesome.
Oh, that's right. He did that toast.
Yeah.
That toast to America.
Yeah.
Right?
Who did that?
Yes, exactly.
Michelle, recall.
It was just all so good, and So I'm happy to be going back there again tomorrow.
Rafa.
It's gonna be good.
Thanksgiving in the Garden District.
Yeah, in the Garden
The
District.
red light district.
Wait, this is non-Thanksgiving, but it's a correction I need to make from last week or 2 weeks ago.
You got a lot of corrections, girl.
I know. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I'd rather
You're a
correct.
bad check.
I know. Remember my nail salon gossip?
Yeah.
About the Lebanese place opening up at the Domino's Mall? So, by Lebanese place, my nail lady meant it's a pita pockets, okay? I saw the vinyl up, and I'm like, that's not Lebanese. That's
What, like
pita
a
pockets.
like a
It's like a
franchise?
franchise. It's like you put some falafel in a freaking pita.
Hey, but we love that taco place. Maybe we'll love this place.
Which one?
What taco place?
The one in the square.
It's closed a long time ago.
I know,
What do you
but
mean?
people loved it. I
No,
mean,
that place
Gannon's
was
not here
awful.
That place is not good.
Gannon loved it.
Gannon!
What taco
I didn't
place?
like it.
There was a taco place in the square.
When?
Before it was
Oh,
gelato.
like a year
Burrito
ago.
place.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Gannon, what was
wait.
what was the taco place called?
I went there
Oh,
every
he's
day.
coming. He's
Tell us what it
coming.
was called.
The taco place.
The burrito joint.
Oh.
Alex Rivera, call the show.
Yes. What was it called?
3618557.
It's called like 305. Yeah, 361
Trivia. What happened to trivia on this show?
Yeah, what was I just
What?
can't find it.
Trivia, what was the taco place called?
In the square, but it was a good cheap meal. I mean, or it was
Yeah,
a decent cheap meal.
But Pita Pockets is a franchise. I wanted like a Lebanese cuisine
Yeah.
restaurant. I don't know.
It was called Le Taco. It was
No, it was called
whatever.
Taco Rico.
You get
No.
the idea. I
That
can
would've
see a
been
lot of
good.
people going to this pita place and being like wowed about it.
Whatever, that's what it's gonna be. The old Chinese. It was Chinese. It was, I don't know. It was Asian.
I was more excited.
Some of
for
that
the
yogurt
Lebanese
sauce.
place. A good like.
Tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
Have
Yeah.
you been to one of these pita franchises?
No.
Oh.
But I've seen them and it has a cheesy picture, so I just can't imagine that the food is good. So no, but I haven't.
I think I've been to one out
But
in Doral.
I'm sorry, like no Lebanese cuisine is called pita pocket.
Yeah, I think.
You know what I'm saying?
Cantina.
Cantina.
There
All
we
right.
go.
On that note, let's end the
And that,
show.
That was with no Google.
I think, right? We're kind of rambling. You guys have anything
Rambling.
else?
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving! Yeah!
Chico, get it!
You can catch this show every weekday when the radio's on at like 6. When it's off, you'll hear something else. And check out ratradio.net. Check out Rat Radio on Facebook. Share our damn posts of the things. And I guess that's it. Oh, and lower your volume right now because when I switch to the music, it's going to be a lot louder than the radio show was. Have a good week. We'll be back next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where's our outro music?
Right.
Oh, right.
Wait, are we still live? Are we still live?
Are
we still live?
we
Yeah, we're
still
still
live?
live. Why
okay,
not?
okay, why not? Right now.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Hey.
Buenos noches.